There's that much money in weed now, trust me. People get sticky fingers. People are turning green. Do you understand what I'm saying? People are turning venomous off weed, everything about the culture. You're always going to have the advocates who have always grown the hippie. Let's get stoned. Let's, boom, boom. I'll sell a little bit to my friend over there and everything's sweet, boom, boom, boom. But then the criminal, as I keep on saying, the criminal fraternity always take it to the next level. And when you can get like £5 or £8 or £10 on a box of some weed, 32 ounces. When you can get 10 grand on some types of weed for 32 ounces, it's big. Especially when you can shift 100 of them in 5 days. It's big money. And when you've got people embroiled in the green, become green, envious, poisonous like they already are. They thieve and they take money that they shouldn't be taking. And on the back of the encroach chat, you've got all these big heads getting placed in custody. Although they're in custody, they've got millions on the streets of Liverpool owing to them. Millions. Don't get it twisted, people. In every city where all these big heads are getting took off the streets and going into custody on big conspiracy charges, they're all owed wedge on the streets. And that wedge needs paying. Doesn't matter if he's in jail, it needs paying. Because if he's in jail and that money and that parcel is not being took down, the people involved with him are telling him while he's in custody, get after or your face is getting cut. And that's the chain of command for you. That's how it works. Just because these fellas that you've seen in the city of Liverpool, I'm focused on the city of Liverpool, because you've seen all these big and secret identities on EncroChat going to prison, don't think they're not old. I'm talking millions on the streets in the city of Liverpool. And it's got to be paid. It's got to be paid. It doesn't matter what the situation is. There's a chain of command. That kid that's placed in jail is just being took out the chain. The money is still owed to the link above him. And it's not going nowhere. But straight away, the daft, stupid and immature drug dealing rats haven't got a clue what they're doing. And because they're poisonous and because they're greedy and because they're envious, the minute my man's gone into custody, if he's sitting there with 70 grand debt, or he's sitting there with 150 sheets there in his cupboard for my man, it's getting tapped into. Especially when they're getting arrested on EncroChat. Everyone's convinced you're gone. I'm not going to see you till 50 or something. Just start keeping that they shouldn't be keeping. And there's repercussions for keeping that shite upon the streets. And you're going to see. As I was saying last week, I feel in Liverpool is going to be horrible. Not with just what's going on in the streets, people. That's going to be messy. It's going to be unforgivable what you're going to start seeing on the streets of Liverpool in the coming months, in the run up to next summer. Honest, it's not going to be good. You're going to see less councillors. You're going to see less representatives from off our streets. Do you understand? You're going to see less people getting into positions of power and influence to represent the streets. And this is what they're going to do once they get in there. And unfortunately for us Scousers, we've been led blind by we haven't really been focusing on the power base of our city. We're getting historical building with historical importance being sold off. We're getting everything dismantled around us, and the council can't about it because we've had a mayor that's been in control of the budgets for the last decade that has left us in an absolute mess. The only reason that system is now on our doorstep is because of that fat, bald and corrupt bastard and his criminal associates. The only reason they stepped into our city council and started investigating what was going on was because he was a corrupt. And now they're in here And now they're going through the documents, and now they're going through what's gone on in the last 2 decades under his watch. They're not happy, and they're saying it's bang out of order, and we've got to send something like a Gestapo in to control back into order. And who's going to feel it the most? Us, Scousers. The city of Liverpool is going to feel it the most. Anyone that's under control of the City of Liverpool Council is going to feel exactly what is going on behind the scenes. It's very soon. Some of you might think that's important, but trust me, you're going to feel right. Watch. When they're closing certain schools down that we thought were great, and they're just coming in and going, right, you don't need 120 schools now, we'll just give you 80. And let me just bring you back to 2 years ago when this kicked in. And for some reason, no one was identifying with me that we were the first city in the whole country to have military presence on the streets. And when that came in, and I was screaming at you all, this is a test run for what's coming in the future. Liverpool City is going to be the first city in this country. Listen, Liverpool City is going to be the first part of the country to have militarised zones in the next 5 years. And when we got that kick in and they had all these militaries setting up camp everywhere and they put it down so they're just helping and they just No, that was like a little pre-run. Think what you like. Just give it a few years, see what happens, see if it comes through. See if anything I'm saying's come through before you doubt it. But because half of us are blind, we don't recognise this situation. Oh yeah, it's just the army helping us, give us this and give us that. No. You didn't need them. There was enough volunteers on the streets. The only reason you sent them to Liverpool is because you know how stand up and volatile our city can become when we all unite, when we all start marching into our city centre screaming at the mayor, when we all start coming together as a united population of Scousers. You know quite well how powerful we are, and you know what city is going to be the first to stand up and scream about this, what's been going on. It's going to happen in Liverpool if it's going to happen anywhere. Ignore what goes in London where you're getting all the youth running through shops, and you know exactly what you're going to get in the city of Liverpool if it goes off. You know it. And that's why you concentrate on this city, because you know we're the main threat in the country. And once we stand up and go at yous, the whole country, especially places like Glasgow, Manchester, Dublin, will go exactly the same. And that's what they don't want.